Every now and then, an NFL storyline breaks through the noise and hits you with that unmistakable feeling. This is bigger than football. What's unfolding in Cleveland right now isn't just about a quarterback competition. It's about identity, pride, and a fan base that has suffered too much to stay quiet any longer. You can sense it in every corner of the city, from barbershops to late-night radio calls, that the Browns are approaching a breaking point. And the man standing dead center in this rising storm isn't the veteran Dillon Gabriel. It's the young fire starter everyone's talking about, Shedeur Sanders. His name is no longer whispered with curiosity. It's shouted with conviction. It's written on handmade signs, hurled across social media, and chanted in unison by thousands who believe, deep in their bones, that this team is on the verge of something extraordinary. If only the coaching staff would take off the blindfold long enough to see it. Before we go any deeper, I need to hear from you. Should Shedeur Sanders be given the keys to this offense ASAP? Or does Dillon Gabriel truly deserve another week in the fire? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you're subscribed, boom, you're automatically entered into the jersey giveaway I'm running up until the start of the season. Someone watching this right now is going to walk away with a free jersey. Get your comment in. Let your voice be heard. The moment Gabriel coughed up that costly fumble and then made those icy comments directed at Shedeur Sanders, everything changed. The narrative flipped almost overnight. Suddenly, every conversation surrounding the Browns wasn't about preseason work or system installs. It was about accountability. Cleveland fans, who have endured every flavor of heartbreak imaginable, started calling it like they see it. Why is the more dynamic, more composed, more exciting quarterback buried behind a guy who keeps coughing up opportunity after opportunity? Instead of rallying around Gabriel, they've turned their voices into a thunderstorm on Sanders' behalf. What was once a murmur has transformed into a movement. And movements don't die easily. Kevin Stefanski now looks like a man carrying the weight of that movement on his shoulders. You can watch his press conferences transform from calm and controlled to visibly tense the moment Sanders is brought up. His answers are shaky, not because he doesn't understand the question, but because he does. He just doesn't want to say it out loud. When asked about setting his quarterback order heading into Week 1 against Cincinnati, he hesitated, stammered, and eventually said he wasn't really thinking about that right this minute. That response didn't quiet the mob, it enraged them. Because it told everyone the same gut-punching truth. He's stalling. He's dodging. He's doing everything except confronting the reality that's playing out in front of him. Then came the head-scratcher. Stefanski announcing that he plans on playing his traditional starters in the third preseason game, something he pushed hard against last year. When grilled about the sudden shift, his explanation could not have been weaker. We do what the players need. In a vacuum, maybe he gets away with that, but not this year. Not with a fan base already convinced that Sanders is what the franchise needs, and that every snap Gabriel takes is a step backward. The pressure is no longer localized, it's national. Analysts from across the country are piling in now, adding gasoline to the Cleveland fire. Chris Canty delivered a blistering take that went viral, claiming Sanders has demonstrated more maturity, more upside, and better leadership on and off the field than Gabriel. He pointed to Sanders' debut, the confidence, the timing, the body language, and contrasted it with Gabriel's unraveling posture both during and after games. His conclusion was unflinching. Shedeur Sanders already carries himself like the starter. He's not hoping for the job, he's earning it. Meanwhile, Gabriel looks like a quarterback playing not to lose, and the difference is crystal clear. So here we are, on the edge of something seismic. Stefanski has a choice to make, and make soon. Either he continues to call Sanders a promising young talent while keeping him chained at QB2, or he finally acknowledges what the locker room, the experts, and the city itself are screaming. Sanders gives the Browns their best chance to win. Not tomorrow, not someday, right now. But here's the catch. Every moment Stefanski delays, every time he hides behind coach speak and clipped answers, the patience of this fan base slips a little further away. And in Cleveland, once you lose the people, the ones who shovel snow just to sit in the stands through a 4-12 season, you lose everything. Because make no mistake, If Kevin Stefanski buries Sanders again, it won't just be another depth chart decision. It will be an open declaration that he's willing to sacrifice belief in the name of comfort. And Cleveland, a city that has lived off belief for generations, will never forgive him for that. I've been glued to this Dillon Gabriel saga like it's a slow-motion car crash, not just because of what's happening on the field, but because of how wildly everything has spiraled off it. One week, Gabriel is standing in front of cameras taking what sounded like a deliberate, confident swipe at Sanders, questioning whether he's truly a competitor or just another flashy entertainer soaking up attention. The next week, he's desperately backpedaling, insisting it was all just a miscommunication, a harmless mishap twisted by the media. But here's the thing, anybody who actually heard him speak knows that's a lie we're being sold after the fact. His words were sharp, calculated, and delivered with the kind of conviction that doesn't leave much room for misunderstanding. Now that the backlash has come down on him like a tidal wave, he's scrambling to repaint himself as misunderstood instead of confrontational, and that, more than anything, tells me he's feeling the pressure. Chris Canty caught on immediately and pulled no punches, pointing out that Gabriel's choice of phrasing echoed the exact same tone Oregon's coach used last season when he ripped into Colorado, dismissing them as a team focused on clicks over wins. At the time, Sanders was front and center for Colorado, taking all the heat, answering all the questions, and carrying himself with unwavering confidence. Fast forward to now, and Gabriel's remarks have that same sour taste, except this time, he can't blame them on somebody else. He said them himself. That's what makes his attempt to pull off this last-minute apology tour so laughable. You can't talk bold and spicy one day, then play innocent the next when the clips go viral and the entire football world starts dissecting your mindset. Shannon Sharpe completely dismantled Gabriel's excuse, calling it cowardly and calculated. In his eyes, and honestly in mine too, Gabriel knew exactly what he was saying. He just never expected that calling someone an entertainer would backfire this spectacularly. Sharpe also hit on what might be the most damning detail of all. Last season, when Oregon's coach took that infamous shot at Colorado, guess who happened to be Oregon's starting quarterback? Dillon Gabriel. So he's not just repeating history, he's recycling it. He heard it once, saw how it landed, and now he's reusing the playbook. Only this time, when things blew up, he didn't have a coach to hide behind. When Canty drilled into that point, saying even if Gabriel claims he was criticizing the media, that argument falls apart under the slightest bit of scrutiny. Everything clicked. The media's job is to analyze. The player's job is to compete. If Gabriel can't handle that pressure, if he has to start pointing fingers and rewriting his own quotes, it exposes a bigger problem. He might not be built to handle the spotlight he's demanding. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders has handled every ounce of this firestorm with a level of calm and maturity that's becoming impossible to ignore. He's not rattled. He's not clapping back. He's simply letting his poise, performance, and presence speak louder than anything Dillon Gabriel could ever say behind a microphone. And that's exactly why this has outgrown the preseason depth chart debate it started as. It's become a conversation about leadership, responsibility, and what kind of energy you want your franchise quarterback to radiate. Fans have seen enough to form their own conclusions. Gabriel looks like a man coming apart at the seams, stretched thin by his own words and mediocre execution, while Sanders looks like a rising star who already carries himself like a QB1, regardless of whether or not he's officially earned that title yet. The momentum behind that belief is massive. You can feel it building with every sports show segment, every analyst tweet, every barbershop argument, every comment section lighting up with the same message: it's time. And now all eyes are turning toward Kevin Stefanski. The head coach keeps giving the same stiff, vague answers every time someone asks about the quarterback situation. But that strategy is starting to look less like patience and more like procrastination. The longer he waits, the more it feels like he's hiding from the inevitable. Because let's be real, this is no longer simply about who plays better football. This is about trust, swagger, presence, accountability. And that brings me to you. Because at this point, the narrative isn't just being shaped by what happens on the field. It's being shaped by the voices demanding change off of it. So tell me where you stand. Is Kevin Stefanski genuinely trying to make the best long-term decision for the team? Or is he crumbling under pressure and buying time he doesn't really have? Has Sanders shown enough maturity, composure, and raw talent to justify getting the starting role right now? Does Gabriel honestly deserve another chance to prove himself? Or did his comments reveal a side of him that fans will never forget and never forgive? And most importantly, do you really believe his words were misunderstood, or was the backlash completely deserved? Drop your honest take in the comments, because I promise you, this quarterback war is just getting started, and your voice is part of what's pushing it forward.